Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet Designs. My name is Mary, coming to you with first Thursday of, well, not really first, it's the second Thursday of the month, but first Thursday of the year of 2023. Get way too excited. Am I shouting in the camera? I didn't mean to. But guys, I know I say this every time I get on actually, but usually every year I say get excited because we are going to have a big year. Look guys, I'm going to tell you this year, I'm closing my eyes because I'm thinking about all the items that we are doing. Plus I'm looking down my book as well. We are doing a lot of different things this year. We're going to focus a lot on, get excited, wearables. What? No, don't get me wrong. We're still going to do the blankets. We're still going to do the stash busting projects. We're still going to notice how I'm doing this because we have so much to do. So I'm going to keep you guys busy all year round. On top of all of that, we will be doing some garments this year. Get way too excited. Notice how the voice and the change, you know, the key goes up. So I just wanted to let everyone know, firstly, a very special thank you to those of you who have sent me birthday wishes. You know I have my birthday first week of January. If you're joining us new, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and like and all that jazz. But I have a birthday week in January. It's actually January the 8th of every year, unless I have another one throughout the year. Just for fun. Don't you like that? So I have a birthday every year on January the 8th, and I usually spend the first week of January on my own little tiny holiday, which really isn't a holiday because we won't go there, but it's really not a holiday. It's a lot of work. I do spend a lot of time creating for the channel for throughout the year. So it's not really a holiday, but it's okay. I did take some sort of rest. Initially, today's video is all about what is happening this year. Yeah, I am going to do a quick snippet right now of what happened in 2022 real fast. It's just to show you some of the items that we made, well, all of the items that we made last year. And here we go. So there you have it, guys. That was 2022 in the making. It was. It's done. It's in the past, but you can create any one of those projects if you wanted to by clicking on the very first playlist you see in the description box down below. That playlist is a playlist of all of the projects we created in 2022. So you click on that playlist and it takes you to all of those tutorials, which is fantastic. But if you wanted to search further on, you can just keep going through our list because we have done, we've been on YouTube now. April, it'll be 6 years of tutorials in April. I did start in November 6 years ago, but for 6 months I didn't do anything and I started around April. But there I was at around April 6 years ago creating. You can go all the way back to then, or you can just start where we are now. The other thing to let everyone know is we have a beginner series at the moment, as well as having, this is a lot of fun, beginner series, beginner projects and intermediate projects all on our channel here at Wow Crochet Designs. We cater for everyone. So if you are a beginner, get excited. We've only just started our beginner series, and I'll pop a link to the playlist of the beginner series in a description box down below, and you can start there. And over the year, this year, you're going to see a beginner project, you're going to see an intermediate project, and you may even see a very, very difficult project. But let's start off with some of the items that we were going to make last year that we didn't make. We're going to carry them over to this year. Now, I've already written out where they're going into on our, I'm looking down at it because it's a lot, where we're going into on each month. And I calculate that by the time we finish doing our spare projects, it's going to be right into May. Those 6 projects that I've missed, I thought it was 8, but it turns out to be 6. The other 2 we kind of fit in into a different type, and I'll talk about that in a minute too. But throughout the next 6 months, you're going to do other projects, plus each month you get one project that we were supposed to have completed last year that we're going to complete this year. Now let's talk about that real quickly. Last year, in January, we actually had a scrap busting year last year, or a stash busting year if you want to put it that way. We spent a lot of time doing scrap projects, little projects, gorgeous projects. It's my favorite last year. I'm so excited. So we spent a lot of time doing little things that helped clear out a lot of our scrap yarn. We're going to carry that over to this year for the next few months to help us not just make some beautiful small projects and some beginner projects and intermediate projects, but also focus on the big projects that we missed last year. One of them being, let's just talk quickly about January. We had a scrap project year. We did the temperature blanket. We started that in December of the year before and finished it December of last year. And we were doing a lot of the crocheting around January for that blanket. So you can actually do that temperature blanket if you haven't yet. Once again, I've left a link to that in the description box down below. Yeah, we've completed it, and I'm so glad, because that was like, that took a lot out of me. A lot of people say, oh, I'm going to do another one. No, I'm done. Once is enough. Don't you love it? She's so honest. And we did our gorgeous, in February, we did our gorgeous, oh, let's not go there, but Pretty as a Peacock blanket. That was it was a sort of a blanket that was part of a giveaway that me kind of prolonged it a little bit, and the reason was I hadn't written the pattern out at all. I still haven't finished the pattern, and our pattern tester Karen right now is sitting next to a computer waiting for the email for part 2 of that pattern. It's complete. The tutorials are done, but the pattern is getting written up as we speak, and it should have been written up about 1.5 years ago. Don't you love it? She's all over the place. But that's not going to happen this year, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The blanket itself, once again, in a description box down below. The blanket itself is called Pretty as a Peacock blanket and is complete. And all of the tutorials are there available, ready for you to create if you wanted to make it. But we finished it, so that's good. Pattern before February I've got here with a big cross, total fail. February of last year was when I was supposed to have the written pattern of the Pretty as a Peacock blanket done. That didn't happen. Total fail. I literally have the word fail written here. But the blanket didn't fail. It went ahead, and there it is. How gorgeous is that blanket? It's simply divine. I love the blanket. I love the color combination, which was chosen by, believe it or not, the lovely Jody Mann once again. And it was just the most gorgeous colors that I've seen for a long time, and it did remind me of a peacock, you know, when they fan out their feathers. If you haven't seen one, check them. Dr. Google it, Uncle Google it, whatever. Check them out on Google and have a look. See, there are other color combinations. I believe there's a white one and a few other color combinations on peacocks, but that one there was the blue one that I loved so much. But anyway, mile a minute table runner and funny videos were supposed to happen in February. They did. I only got one funny video out last year, which I wasn't happy with. So I'm going to do some more this year. You will be seeing more funny videos. I'll give you a rundown of this year in a minute. I just want to give you an idea of the items we're going to make this year. Our stash busting projects happened in March. We were going to make a pot holder. We never did that in March. In fact, we didn't do it all year round. We did one in Christmas, and there it is right there. And we did it in Christmas, and I thought, absolute, gorgeous pot holder. I'm not going to bother making another one. We've done the Christmas one. That's it. That was one that I thought we were going to make. Yeah, but we're not going to. I did promise in March a top-down item. Top down, you start from the top, you work your way down. Total fail, big cross on that one. We never did that, not in March, and we didn't do it all year round. So that's going to be in this year, yeah? A crochet cowl we did in April, patchwork beanie, we did some of that jazz. We're not going to go through it all. In March, I'm sorry, let's try it again. In April, we were supposed to do a thing called the Hippie Hip Band. Total fail. Not only did we not make it in April, but we didn't make it at all as well. So that is happening this year. Now with that one, you can use it as a dual purpose of either a shawl or a hippie hip band where you wrap it around your hip. I'm making it for my hippie hip band because some of us have a few extra layers we need to cover up. Not mentioning any names. And also in April, we were supposed to do a mystery blanket. Total fail once again. We didn't even do it all year round. We skipped it completely. There was a lot of skipping in April. What happened in April? And we skipped everything. Don't you love it? In June, we were supposed to do a project pack giveaway, which is what the Pretty as a Peacock blanket was. But it was going to be a project pack. Now, a project pack will be the yarn, the hook, the scissors, the sewing needle, and the pattern all in one pack. You were going to get that in June, and we were going to create it in July. That's what was going to happen. Right, give me one moment. I didn't fix that up. Let's do that here. I didn't write it in. I'm sorry, guys. The giveaway pack. We don't call them giveaways here, guys, by the way, if you're joining us new. We call them surprises, yeah? And that way, at least, we don't get all those nasties on. We just get our normal crocheters. Our yarnsters, if you will. We can use that word, yarnsters, can't we? New word. So we didn't do that last year. That will be happening this year. I'll talk about that in a minute as well. We had the woolly bargain bag giveaway in July. This was a part of the Australian Sheep and Wool Show that happens every year in July. I went there last year. There's a few little pictures that you can see there. And I went there last year and we did our own stall there. We did well. We met some wonderful other yarn people, some crocheters, some crafters. We met a lot of people while we were there. In August, I've got here, Mystery Project was supposed to be, and I didn't tell you last year what it was supposed to be. I said I was going to keep it a secret. It was supposed to be the patchwork jumper. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. And around August, we were also supposed to do, and I mentioned we were going to do it, and I even showed you some of the stitching that I'd already done, and I don't know what I've done with the pack. It's around here somewhere. A pocket shawl. We never did it. Total fail. Big cross. Right next to that as well. Right? That's going to happen this year as well. We were supposed to also do some sort of pet blanket, whether it be a Halloween blanket, whether it be a normal blanket for our animals, our cat, our dog, whatever pets you have in your household. We never did it. I did do a little Halloween swatch that you guys didn't actually see. You saw it in the actual Halloween video. Oh, and there's a picture of the actual stage, the background of the Halloween video. That picture you see right there, that little round thing that you see in there that looks very orangey, that was supposed to have been the moon. The moon, very dark orange moon around Halloween. And if you haven't seen our Halloween video, which was the puppet show, and we created puppets here on the channel for it, if you haven't seen that video, I've left a link to that video also in the description box down below. So we will be making a pet blanket this year for whether it be Halloween or maybe just a plain, when I say plain, it won't be plain, it will be nice, pet blanket for your pet. So get excited about that. Those are the things we missed last year. So it goes to show you things happen throughout the year, and this is where a little bit of a patch in between the middle of the year is that we're going to focus on, and you'll know what I mean when I start talking about it. Let's start off with January. Now, January we've already started January with some beginner projects. We do have a ball coming tomorrow, a crochet ball. It will be an amigurumi ball, if you will. So it's actually a real ball. It's going to look like a ball. That's happening tomorrow. We're also doing another one of these, but different pattern, of course. Well, actually, let me show you. Let me show you what I've got so you can see. There we go. We have different colours happening. We've got a purple, we've got a pearl, we've got a pink. I think we've got another red too. But I'm going to talk to you on Saturday about those. So don't worry about that. That is actually happening on the channel. And on Saturday, you'll get all the information on the sizes you will need, how much yarn you will need, and you'll know exactly what's going down. Yeah? All right. That's happening in January. We've got a few things happening in January, a few small things. Now, I forgot to mention that previous Peacock. Oh, in February, we were supposed to have done a beanie for a man. We never did the beanie at all. Wasn't even just in February. What we did do, however, and there it is right there, we did a gorgeous patchwork beanie last year. Now that beanie was going to match a patchwork cardigan that I was making my niece. She didn't want the beanie, but she did want the cardigan. Because of that patchwork beanie, I never made a beanie for a man throughout the year last year. So we're going to make one in the end of January. Sometime within the next 2 weeks we're going to make one. So get excited and look forward to that. We've still got our beginner series happening. As you know, you can see them coming up every now and then. I also do a lot of shorts, and we'll do more shorts this year of stitches. Sometimes you'll see a funny short. Sometimes you'll see me being ridiculous. Sometimes you'll just see me sitting in a corner somewhere crocheting, getting ready for our very next project. And it will be introducing that project to you. So that is the only time you'll see that project before it happens, whilst I'm making it. So watch those shorts, guys, because they're the ones this year that you're going to say, wait a minute, she hasn't made that. Is that coming soon? And it might say the word coming soon. And it might say pattern only. And it might say see website, which means it's only a website pattern, that kind of thing. So things will be different this year, but the same. That doesn't make any sense. Are they different or are they the same? They're saying they're the same, but we're adding a little bit extra with all these shorts. So get ready for that. Yeah. Also, what have we got here? This is our year project. And you're thinking, that's a year project, yay! But it's not going to be like a temperature blanket. I didn't mention it earlier, but we are doing a 1 year long project, but it's not a difficult project. Now, the project was introduced here on the channel by accident through a conversation with the lovely Kiki and Marty. They were having a conversation about a reef, making a reef. And we are going to make the base of a reef. And I'll give you all the information when we start the video, which will be the end of January, by the way. The base of the reef. And throughout the year, once a month, we will have a small project that we will add on to our reef. By the end of the year, you will have a January project, a February project, a March, an April, and all the way through to the year for each month. However, you will also have, and we might be able to marry the two, an Easter project onto it. So I don't know, maybe we make a little chick, or maybe we make a little egg, or maybe, we'll see. But there will be a little Easter project on that. I'm lying. First you will have, come on Mary, you can do this. You'll have a Valentine's project attached to it. There'll be small items. You will have a St. Patrick's Day project attached. You will have a Mother's Day project, a Father's Day. You will have an Easter, and you will have all the important dates like Halloween and Christmas and everything else, but you'll also have a once a month project on it. It is a 1 year project, but it's just one reef, and at the end of the year you can either give it away as a gift, you can keep it for yourself to remind you. We could do maybe the Wow Crochet letters. What? You can do whatever you want on your project on top of what we have and gift it any way you like, whether you want to keep it for yourself or gift it. So this is our 1 year long project. That's going to be a lot of fun. I will give you all the information of the actual size of the wreath that you need. I'll give you the items of yarn that you might need. We can talk about on Saturday, which is the reason why I'm telling you before Saturday, what size yarn you would like to see your wreath in. I'm thinking maybe we can do the actual wreath itself in a 10 ply, an Aran weight or a number 4 weight overseas type of yarn. And then throughout the year, we can maybe do them in different types of yarn, like a 4 ply or a lightweight, or we can do them in an 8 ply or a lightweight, or we can do them in the 4 ply, the medium weight, that kind of thing. We can talk about that on Saturday. Get excited, guys. It is a Saturday morning discussion, and that's going to be this Saturday. Get way too excited, like me. And also in January, you're going to see beginner videos. Now, you already have been seeing them throughout the past few weeks, few months. There's something that I did introduce around November of last year. It might have even been December, I can't remember. But I introduced a lot of the beginner videos, and they're just teaching you single crochets, chains, half doubles, doubles, and all that jazz. Quick heads up, I do use US terminology. Big news this year. I will be using US terminology, and occasionally I'll either say it or I'll write it up the top for the UK terminology as well. So you're going to see both this year. It's a very exciting year for us. This is one new thing that I'm introducing this year, being able to decipher the difference between the US terminology and the UK terminology. So you have an opportunity to be able to do both this year, and how exciting is that? And of course, always, as usual, you will see our video vlogs. They will be happening more often this year. We started reintroducing them more towards the end of the year last year. You're going to see a lot more this year. Best part about those video vlogs is you'll be seeing projects that I create, let's just call it outside of the channel. So you don't see certain projects and you think, wow, I didn't know you could make that. Do you think we could make it for the channel? And if you twist my arm enough, there are some projects that I may even make on our channel. And that's where that little space comes in mid-year as well. We're going to talk about that as well. Let's move, I'm rushing now. Let's move on to February. February, get excited. Where is the lovely Franca? What? Where is she? Where is she? Yours truly has started creating the patchwork jumper. That is one of the first projects we missed last year that we are doing this year, and this is where I'm up to right now. Simply Divine. That's the back. You do have some ends, not a lot of ends, because we are actually, I'm trying to big it up. I'm hoping you can see. You probably can't. We are actually crocheting along the way and carrying up the yarn as we speak. Yeah. So this is 3/4 of one side, whether it be the front or the back, it doesn't matter. They're both the same. Now in the pattern, you will have an option. If you wanted to make this side and make it exactly the same as this side, but when you are putting both sides together, that side is facing this way, this side is facing that way. So it looks like you've done different colors when really it's exactly the same on both sides of your work, both the front and back. Or you could change the color combination to suit you. We'll talk about that throughout the pattern, entirely up to you. Now, I did start doing this particular design and realized that's not really it's hard to explain. It is an easy design, it's very simple, but you may not get this particular one because each size will have a different amount of stitches. That will change the amount here, and it will be way too confusing to say, right, extra smalls, I need you to do 1 here, 5 there, 2 here, 6 there. Extra large, I need you to do 1 there, 2, 6, 5, and it's just going to be so confusing. So I've decided not to do this pattern on the tutorial, but do a pattern where it will consist of 3 colors, where it's very basic, and we'll talk about that when we're doing the tutorial. But in the meantime, that has started. This is my size already, so I'll be wearing this jumper if I don't put on any weight. Don't you love it? She doesn't put on any weight. She's putting it on like the bucket loads. It's like 1 kilo, 2 kilos a week. What is going on? No more Tim Tams for this lady. All right, moving right along. In February, I'm so naughty. In February, we have a Valentine's Day project. Yes, that will happen obviously in February. I don't know what it is yet. Got a question mark there. We'll talk about that. Usually I work on it a couple of weeks before Valentine's, so bear with me on that one. We also have beginner videos. We have some reef videos. Get excited. Well, we have one reef video. It's one reef video a month. So it'll be one tutorial per month for the reef. All right, so we are going to be doing one tutorial for the reef. We're going to be doing vlogs, and of course we're going to be doing some scrap busting projects as well, some beginner projects for the beginners. And in March, guys, we will be doing the pet blanket that we missed out last year, and we'll talk about that further in March. We'll be doing a reef project, stash busting projects, including, drum roll please, a stash busting vest. Now, the idea came from me. My sister Teresa did her stash busting vest a few years ago. I think that might be Achu knitting. I'm allergic, Achu, to that. But we're going to do ours in crochet, and hopefully Teresa will wear hers. If you didn't know this, Auntie T, Teresa, she has occasionally a lot to do with our channel. She pops in every now and then. She also, you might catch her on our live. She's called Auntie T. And she actually may wear that vest, and we can actually see her vest, and we can work out our own vest for us here on the channel. Not the same style as hers, but just to see what hers looks like on her. Yeah, so you get to see Auntie T's one. I hope she lets me do it. I know she will. I'm sure she will. She loves showing off her stuff. Me too. And that's March. And we're also doing our beginner videos again. We're doing our vlogs, the same things we always do. It's going to be a very busy year next year. There's no breathing. I'm sorry, let's try this year. It's already 2023. April, we have Easter projects. We love Easter again. Okay, we love all those party times. So Easter, we have a reef project for our reef. You can also pop the small Easter project on that as well. And then we're having our hippie hip band again as a dual project of being a shawl as well. That's happening in Easter, in April. It'll be after Easter. Couldn't get my tongue around that. It'll be after Easter in April. We'll also be doing some stash busting projects again in April, beginner series, vlogs. It's all happening in April. All happening. Oh my gosh. Turn a page, Mary. Turn a page. May. We are going to do our pocket shawl in May. On top of that, we are going to do, this is a pocket shawl that should have happened about 1.5 years ago, yeah? On top of that, we're going to do our small projects as well. I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop myself right there, because between May and September, here in Australia, it is probably, we'll even say October, November, it is probably our coldest months of the year. Here in Melbourne, it's very cold. Right mid-June, July, August is just nasty. It's nasty. People think Australia is summer all year round. It's not. Heads up, yeah? It's cold here in Melbourne. Melbourne is cold, right? It's warm in summer, I agree, but it's cold, really cold. Anyway, changing the subject, I don't know how I got onto that. In between, the reason I say between that time every year, this is where I get a little lost. And the reason is, and it dawned on me last year during our Australian Sheep and Wool Show, those months, because it's so cold, we have a lot of markets and stalls that happen, and annual things that happen that I always go to, and I purchase a lot of yarn, and then I come back and for some reason a project comes to my head and we do that project that month, even though it wasn't even planned, yeah? So that happens a lot throughout the middle of the year, and I've noticed that the past 2 or 3 years in a row. So I thought, in those few months, in the middle of our coldest months, I'll give you another rundown when we get to May of what's going to happen, all right? But I will just pop in some spur-of-the-moment projects, if you will, on top of other items, on top of stash busting projects, on top of beginner projects. What have I got? Spur-of-the-moment projects. Yeah, that's what I've written there. Allowing you to be able to create whatever it is that's happening for that season, if you will, that winter, cooler month season, and Australians using that season right now, that project right now, and overseas getting that ready then for your winter. So it kind of works for the whole world. It'll be winter for us, cold months for us. We'll be creating for us around that time, for that moment in time. And you overseas who have your winter a few months later can create and get it ready for your winter. It works for all of us. The whole world can be involved in our cold month projects, if you will. Cool month project. I haven't named it yet. Let's just say the middle of the year, lots of different things will happen that I haven't mentioned that we will make. They're kind of like surprise projects, if you will. However, one project that you will see that you were supposed to have seen last year is, and get it ready, Mary, you need a drum roll here again, is the Sunshine Bright cardigan. We will be making that in May or June or July, one of those months. I'd like to make it in May and get it ready for July. So hopefully we can. Now, newbies are looking at it thinking, but I'm new, I won't be able to make that. That's just so difficult. It's not. It is not difficult. It will be a project on the channel with all sizes from extra small to 5 extra large, and you can have an opportunity to create it. And the reason I say it won't be difficult is because the patchwork jumper that we were going to make, this is made exactly the same. Yeah, have a look at the back. It's made exactly the same, but it's easier than your patchwork jumper. Another thing too, if you didn't want to make all the colours you see in this jumper, it's kind of a bit of a worse for the wear because I've worn it non-stop since I've made it. If you didn't want to make it as different colours, you just don't change. When I say change to this colour, you just keep going in one colour. You can make your jumper, or cardigan I should say, not jumper, that's a jumper, cardigan in one colour. It doesn't necessarily have to have all the colour change. If colour change frightens you, don't change colours. It's as simple as that. It is a basic stitch, and you've got the sleeves, yes, which I actually increase as I go along. Yeah, I won't be making it this long because I've noticed it being too long. It has actually dropped right down to here on me. And I will actually be using a different hook size for the ribbing to tighten that ribbing up a little bit because the ribbing's a little loose, and the looser it is, the longer it drops. Yeah, and if you make it a bit smaller, it gives you plenty of room for your ribbing. So if your ribbing is here and it grows a little bit, and it's only going to grow to that. I hope that makes sense, yeah? But that's the cardigan we were supposed to make last year. We're definitely going to make that this year around May or June. So in between May and the end of September, you're going to see spur-of-the-moment projects. You're going to see stash busting projects. You're going to see the odd surprise. And the reason you'll see the odd surprise is because I will be doing lots of yarn purchasing, and you will get to be the lucky subscriber who gets a chance to win some of that beautiful yarn. And it won't just be the yarn you see on the shelf in the shops. It will be yarn that's hand dyed. It will be yarn that's fancy. So get ready. There will be one of those in the winter months. Those winter months. I don't know. They're kind of like the coldest months of the year. So I wanted to do just that, make surprises, because that's what happens through the year. I do the surprises and everything else just gets banked up. So this year when we're making on the spur of the moment project, I will leave it for the middle of the year to keep it all in there. And the reason I'm going to leave it in the middle of the year is because also in the middle of the year, not much is happening. All your Easter and your Valentine's and everything's at the beginning, and then you've got your Halloweens and your Christmases and things at the end. You might have Mother's Day and Father's Day in between, and right in the middle, not much happens here in Australia, apart from the winter months, which is huge here in Australia for wool and acrylic and cotton and everything else. So it's a very, very busy time for me. Even though it's not busy for those of you overseas, it is really a busy time for me. So I'm going to call this few months, May to September, spur of the moment months. So you'll hear me say, oh, okay, we've got a spur of the moment project today, and it is, and then you'll see it. And that's what's going to happen throughout the year this year. What's happening between October and December? I've left a big gap there as well, but I'm going to talk to you quickly about some of the items you're going to see. And a lot of them, as you know, we have, I love this time of year, Halloween. We're so excited already about Halloween. This year's Halloween, once again, it's not going to be as big as last year. Last year was huge. We did puppets, we made puppets, we did all sorts of things. But this year's Halloween, we are going to be creating for Halloween, but we're going to be creating a little, well, I won't tell you. I don't want to give away too much information. It will be something that you can wear that is specifically for Halloween. And I will be doing a funny Halloween video, as I do every year. Again, remember the Halloween video is in the description box down below if you want to see that one from last year. That was a little bit silly. It was a lot of fun. And I had a making of the video as well, which I'll also leave in the description box down below. But Halloween is always a lot of fun for me. I think this year I'm going to do another one of those story time videos where I tell a story, but I mix crochet related words, and I'm going to make a bit of a word play again this year in it. As well as having Halloween in October, we're also going to be focusing on cotton, working with a lot of cotton. We spend a lot of time working with wool and acrylic. We do work with some cotton when we're making projects like this, but we haven't actually created a lot of garments or a lot of blankets, if you will. We did do the Pretty as a Peacock blanket. Again, there's the picture. That was made in cotton. You couldn't go wrong. How gorgeous. I still love that blanket. I'm just going to love it always, yeah? So we're going to be creating possibly a blanket around September, October, November, around that time, using cotton. And it will be in cotton for the simple fact that we don't do a lot of cotton here on the channel. And the other thing we're going to be doing around that time is maybe focusing on lightweight garments that we can create and get prepared for wearing them either in summer or even over your t-shirts and long shirts in winter. So you've got something indoors to wear. Say you've got the heater on full blast during winter. You can wear that cotton little garment on top of your blouse or your shirts or whatever it is that you wear. Yeah. On top of a frock, if you will. If there's a little frock that you wear and you don't like the front of it, you pop this gorgeous little lace top over it. So we will be doing a few of those over the next few months. Keep your eyes peeled. We are, like I did say, focusing on a lot of garments this year. On top of blankets, we're still doing blankets. So there's so much we're doing. I don't know. We're going to run out of time, aren't we? It's only January and I'm already talking about running out of time. Guys, I've let this video go on way too long, but I just wanted to let you know, once again, every year I add a new change to the channel, and one of them, as you know, is adding more garments to the channel, adding the beginner series to the channel, which we actually started last year, so it kind of isn't new. But it's also, we're going to keep doing our lives at 4 p.m. Wednesday afternoons and 10 a.m. Saturday morning. That's Melbourne, Australia time, by the way. So marry up your time if you're overseas, yeah? We're still doing those lives, and every Saturday's live, we will still do live antics. And if you are new and you don't know what live antics is, it is where I get to lay out a whole lot of yarn on the table and I pick one subscriber in the live to choose a color combination of our very next project. Get way too excited. Also, guys, this year, 3 more things. 1, just letting you know that we will be adding something new to our lives. We'll talk about that on Saturday's live. 2, if you want to shout out, or you've started your new channel, or you've been on the channel for a long time and you've never had a shout out from us, please let me know. I'm doing video vlogs throughout the year. I love doing shout outs. It's good for you. It's good for us. It's good for everyone. We all win. It's good for the subscribers. Everybody wins. And 3, we are still doing surprises this year. Surprises, for my regulars who already know that, are giveaways. They're called surprises because we just want to get rid of all the other naughty people that get on the channel. So when we do our surprises, guys, remember one thing. Never, ever click on a link that says you've won, click on this link. Never do that, guys. Never, ever. I will never ask you to click on a link. I will tell everyone to watch the video. Don't ever click on any links. I never, ever say click on a link or go over here or do that or find me on this. I never say any of that. I always say watch the video and follow the instructions to receive your prize. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for watching today. Once again, I've kind of babbled on a little bit too much. Don't you love it? More like a chicken, yeah. But I've kind of babbled a little bit too much. Have left a big gap in the middle of the year on purpose for those surprise videos that tend to put us behind. And let's hope, because I've done that, we won't get behind this year. And everything I said we do this year, we hope to get done. By, what did I say? May of this year, or even middle of May, we'll say middle of May, we would have finished all of the projects that we were supposed to have completed last year by May of this year, on top of all of the new projects that we're going to do, on top of surprise projects. So if you say to me, Mary, have you seen the new something that's come out? That's where we will put it in the middle of the year. That's where all of the surprised items that I haven't talked about or that are new, fashion, trendy that moment that you want to do will happen flat bang in the middle of our year this year. And that's it, folks. I thank you very much for joining us here at Wow Crochet Designs and learning all about what is going to happen this year on the channel. We are focusing on everyone this year, beginners, intermediate, expert, whatever level you are at, we are focused on you. Look forward to seeing the very next tutorial, which is the ball. The ball that's coming tomorrow. I thank everyone for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. I've been Mary. This is Wow Crochet Designs, and ciao for now. Try to be good. Bye all. Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet Designs. My name is Mary. Today I'm coming to you with, and I just hit my hand. Ow, ow, on the yarn winder.